Hello there. Today, we're going to gently pull back the curtain on something that happens all around us, every second, in our digital world. We're not going to get into any complex code or scary jargon, just a simple, clear idea that's at the heart of how we find exactly what we're looking for. Have you ever really stopped to think about that? You're on a shopping site, you click a couple of filters, let's say for color and size, and in the blink of an eye, a catalog with millions of things in it just reshuffles itself perfectly for you. How on earth does it find that one specific thing so incredibly fast? Well, it might feel like magic, but it's not. At its core, finding information is just a very structured, very logical conversation. And today, we're going to learn the basic grammar of that conversation. To really get this, we need to zoom out just a little bit first. Because it turns out the entire internet is pretty much built on this exact same idea, asking questions and getting answers. Every single time you click a link or type in a web address or even just load a page, you're sending a little request out into the world. It's this constant, invisible dance of information that's happening billions and billions of times a second. So your web browser, well, it's the one doing the asking. It sends a request out. And somewhere out there, a server, which is really just a powerful computer that's designed to listen, hears that request, finds what you asked for, and sends it right back. That simple little back and forth is the foundation of almost everything we do online. Okay, so if a server is holding all this information, what does that actually look like on the inside? Let's use an analogy here. This is where we meet the idea of a database. A database is simply where all the data lives, but it's not some messy pile of files. It's much more like a giant, perfectly organized library where every single book has its place, and everything is sorted into these neat tables, kind of like shelves full of books. Now, if you want to find something in this giant library, you can't just wander around hoping to stumble upon it. You need to ask a very specific, very clear question, and that is what a query is. It's the special way of asking a question that the library understands perfectly. And this is really why this matters so much. Learning how to ask these questions, learning how to query something, it's like learning the secret language that unlocks all of that perfectly organized information. It's an incredibly powerful skill. So, what does one of these special questions actually look like? Is it super complicated? Well, the good news is it's surprisingly simple. Let's take a look at the anatomy of a basic query. I want you to think of it less like computer code and more like you're just building a sentence, a really clear, logical sentence that has three main parts. And these three parts work together to get you exactly what you need. The first part of our sentence is select. This is the what. It's where you tell the database what information you want it to show you. So in our library, this would be like saying, please show me the titles of the books and the authors' names. You're just selecting the specific columns of data you want to see. The second part is from. This is the where from. It tells the database where it should go look. Which table or which shelf in our library actually holds the information you're asking about. You have to point it to the right spot. And the final part is where. Now this is the magic filter. This is where you set the specific rules for your search. So for example, only show me books where the author is Jane Austen, or only show me shoes where the color is red. This is the part that narrows down millions of items to just the few you actually care about. Okay, so that's the theory. But let's actually watch this happen in a real, simple conversation with some data. Here we go. This is our little digital bookshelf. It's a tiny table we're calling fruit. It has just two columns, one for the name of the fruit and one for the number we have in stock. Nice and simple, right? All right, now let's build our question in plain English. We want to ask, show me the name and the number from the fruit table, but only where the name is apples. See how those three parts are all there? And this is how that English sentence translates directly into the language of the database. Select name, number, that's our what, from fruit, that's where to look, and where name equals apples, that's our filter. It's almost a perfect one-to-one translation. And just like that, the database gives you back a perfect, focused answer. It completely ignored the oranges, the bananas, all the other stuff, and it returned only the single row that matched every single one of our rules. No confusion, no extra information, just the answer. So what's the big idea here? What's the main takeaway? Let's bring it all together. The most important thing here isn't about memorizing the exact words like select or from. The real skill is just understanding the thought process behind it. That simple, logical sentence structure for asking a question. That's really it. First, what do I want to see? Second, where is that information located? And third, what are my specific rules to filter everything else out? If you can answer those three things in your head, you truly understand the core of how to get information from data. And that simple three-part grammar, that's what powers so much of our digital lives. It's this elegant little system that lets us find a needle in an infinite haystack. It brings a sense of calm, a sense of order to what could otherwise be overwhelming chaos. In the end, that's really all a query is. It's a moment of focus. It's a way to ask a very precise question and get a very precise answer back. It's how we can look out at an entire universe of information and ask for one single, specific truth.